Okay. And right now, in order to complete this process and show you the big picture, I'm going to add one final box over here. And this final box over here, which is the last thing you need to learn in order to have a very, very powerful sales funnel and to optimize your Facebook campaigns, is this final thing over here, which is to think about how you can have customers come back to your sales funnel. And that is known as the return path. What is it known as, please? Return path. Right, the return path. So over here, think about what are the different ways you can use to get people to constantly come back to your funnel. Now this could be different ways. This could be email. This could be Facebook. This could be through blogging. This could be what we talked about yesterday. This could be retargeting. But at the end of the day, to have a strategy for people to keep coming back into your sales funnel so that you really maximize every single dollar that you paid Facebook for. So remember, when you are spending money on Facebook, it comes back down to what we learned on the first day, tracking. Ask yourself, by spending $1,000 on Facebook, how many clicks did I get? From the clicks and the website visitors that I got, how many people gave me their email? For the amount of people that gave me their email, how many people bought my initial product? It could be my tripwire, or it could be, like Jordan Yo, his Iron Mastery at $97. By selling that initial product, am I able to at least break even from the cost of my Facebook traffic? If the answer is yes, then remember, it comes back down to scaling, optimizing and scaling, right? And it would be easier and easier for you to break even from the expenses on Facebook the more you implement and build out your sales funnel, right? So as long as you build this out, it becomes easier and easier for you to break even from your expenses over here. If you're capturing the emails, if your opt-ins are good, if the conversions are good, if you have tripwires in place, if you have upsells in place, and if you get a good return path. So in other words, if you really think about it, the way to expand your business and to grow your business comes in these three main ways. In other words, business growth, in order to grow your business, comes down to three main things. The first method, what do you think is the first way to grow a business? What do you need to increase? Okay, if you can get more customers, which is number one, right? If you can get more customers, then you would be able to increase your business. What do you think is the second way to increase your business and the business growth? Think about it this way. If you own a restaurant and the average bill of a customer is $10, if you're able to increase this whereby the average bill is $20 with everything else remaining the same, if you're able to double this next thing, which is the average checkout value or the average spend, right? If you're able to increase the average checkout value of your customer, then you will also have business growth. And finally, the third way, what's the third way?
Increase number of frequency.
Right, the frequency. If you are able to increase the frequency of your customers, then you would be able to increase your business growth. So in other words, as the entrepreneur and as the leader in your organization, you're always thinking about these three things, because if you are able to double your customers and double the average checkout value and double the frequency which they come back, in other words, you would be able to 8x your business this year just by doubling these three things, right? 2 times 2 times 2. So if you take a look at this model, how does this translate back into this model? It's really this. The first one is to double your website visitors, right? If you're able to double your website visitors, if you are able to double the average checkout value, which is by having products, upsells, and back-end products in place, and if you are able to double the frequency of your visitors, then ultimately you would 8x your business. So the key thing to take away over here right now is basically this. Right now, you have a much better understanding of mastering Facebook, but the next thing that's for you to understand is the build-up of a sales funnel. Because ultimately, if you have nowhere to funnel traffic to, and if you have nowhere to funnel Facebook traffic to, there's no point. You want to be funneling your Facebook traffic to a funnel. Okay, so that is basically your next step. So many of you know I run a program called Internet Income Intensive, and I can see there are many graduates. I think 20% of you have been to this program. But that's basically your next step, right? To build up the funnel so that you really maximize the Facebook traffic that you send, right? Make sure that you're capturing the emails, make sure you're building the products, and making sure that everything is in one seamless transition. All right, so to show you that it's not theory, would it be okay with you if I showed you some of my students who have implemented this and show you the results that they're having right now? Would that be all right? Yes. Yeah, okay, thank you. So I'm just going to show you a couple of people, that has built up their sales funnel and ultimately what they are doing. First, I want to start off with someone like, his name is Jesse. He's actually not this dark. Okay, it's just bad lighting. Jesse is a translator, and he's in Thailand, right? So he's a translator in Thailand, and he was someone that had no idea how to build an online business. So what he did was he came to Internet Income Intensive, not as a student, but as a translator. Okay, so let's see what he says. What happened for him?
We're at the end of the Internet Income Intensive in Bangkok. This event was here as a translator as well as last year. Actually, I was translating for this event also last year. And you know what? After the event last year, in 1 week, I was able to generate $5,000 using only the template that Peng Jun provided in his course. After the event that I was translating, I didn't even pay attention to the course. I was busy translating, but I studied the course. I studied the material given and used the template and generated that kind of money. And after that, the next step is I applied the strategy and technique within my Facebook page. And the result that I was able to acquire, I would say it's like a magic. It's like a miracle. And this is what I was able to acquire. The number is organic.
So let me just pause this over here, just so they can understand the numbers. So what he did was he rolled out the traffic strategies. You can see on this page here about 5.5 million organic, it's not paid, with a crazy amount of engagements. And that translated to monetizing it, again, by having a funnel in place. So this video was actually 1 year after attending Internet Income Intensive that he came back as a translator.
And the page, my page back then, has only 432 likes. I applied the technique and this is the result. Up until now, this content, but this one post is already passive content. People keep sharing it every day. For 1 year already, they share it, they comment on it, they like it, and it was crazy. And after that, I applied the strategy from the Internet Income Intensive even more in every aspect of my life. Up until now, 1 year has passed, I was able to generate a six-figure income in US dollar using only the technique that I learned from this course as a translator in that course. It was amazing. So if you were thinking of having your lifestyle as an online entrepreneur or building an online business of your own, this is what you're looking for. So hope to see you, and trust me, Peng Joon is your answer.
So basically this is Jesse, and there's all these different, let me just pause this for a sec. So all these different people,
My name is Paul.
okay, so all these different people are just students from all over. I've done events. So this is who's this person? This is Paul Matasit. He's from Thailand as well. Was from the same batch, and it's basically he was someone who was a corporate trainer, and he attended Internet Income Intensive. And here's what happened for him after he built his funnels, right? So this was about, I think it was a year after the event.
My name is Paul Natasit Vajasitising from Thailand. After a month I studied with Peng Joon, I have made 27,000 US dollar in a month. That's so amazing. And right now it's already 12 months. I made much more than that. So Peng Joon really changed my life.
That was Paul.
My name is Christine. I used to have a knife.
Christine is actually, she was from Singapore, but she lives in Melbourne today. She was working as a tax accountant for many years, and what she did was, after attending Internet Income Intensive, she created a product, rolled out her funnels, and this is what happened for her.
5 job. There was no end to it. I attended Internet Income Intensive. It has changed my life. I'm now able to live life on my own terms. Sometimes I wake up at 10 a.m. and I look at my phone, there's sales coming in. It's just so empowering, I can't believe it. It has changed my life. It will change yours too. I highly recommend you attend Internet Income Intensive.
So all these different people that you see over here, right? What are the common things that they have? It really comes down to this. It's not that they have a special skill. It's really because they built their funnels. Okay, and that's the next step for you. If you want to have serious results in terms of your Facebook campaigns, it's all really about maximizing it and having a funnel to send this traffic to. So in terms of how building your own funnel works, I'd like to share with you the 5-step system in terms of building a funnel, which is the same 5 steps that I teach at Internet Income Intensive. How many of you would like to know what the 5 steps are? Yeah, okay, thank you. So let me just share with you the 5 steps that's necessary in building a successful funnel. Okay, so please write down. Step number 1 is to first identify a profitable market. That's number 1. It's identify a profitable market. The worst thing you can do is to go into a market only to realize there isn't a buyer's market, right? That nobody's buying. Step number 1 is really to make sure that the market that you're going in has got a hungry buyer market that people are willing to pay money for. Okay, there we go. So step number 1 is to first identify the market, understanding where the money is, right? Step number 2 is where you want to be able to build a website around it. Now this step over here is a step that I know is scary to a lot of people because for whatever reason, people have this fear of technology. But let's face it, it's 2017, technology is in place, and it's really super simple to build a website. Now I want to be clear about one thing. A website is very different from a funnel. A website on its own does not make money. There are a ton of websites out there that's professionally designed with sleek graphics but does not make any money. Anyone can build a beautiful looking website, but marketing that website is a totally different thing. And that is where you want to have a funnel, not just a website. So this step is where I will show you how you can build websites really easily without being a programmer, a designer, or a coder. And this is where I'll show you how you can process payments from anyone, anywhere in the world, as long as they have a Visa, MasterCard, or American Express. And once you have that done, the next thing that we will be covering is step number 3. This is something that we talked about earlier. Please write down product promotion. This is where you start to monetize. This is where I'm going to be teaching you the steps to create your own product, sell that product so that you can keep 100% of the profits. So product promotion comes in 2 main forms. How many forms, please? Right. How many forms, please? Right, 2 forms. So the first option is to create your own product, sell the own product, keep 100% of the profits. But your other option is to sell other people's products and then get paid a commission in return. So this is known as affiliate marketing. What is it known as, please?
Affiliate marketing.
Thank you. Affiliate marketing, right? So I'm going to be teaching you how to do both so that you can get multiple streams of income. And I'm going to be showing you how you can leverage on other platforms like Amazon, like ClickBank, so that you're not just selling your own product, but you're also selling other people's products and getting paid a commission return. All right, so that brings us, once you have successfully done that, that brings us to number 4. And number 4 is the ability to drive traffic. The ability to get people to go to your website, something that you've learned here in the last 2 days using platforms like Facebook, video marketing, and getting people to come to your funnel. Now this is the biggest change that has happened in the last 7 years. For the longest time, traffic generation amongst internet marketers has always been a hot topic. Traffic softwares and traffic stuff are things that sells easy. Why? Because it's a sexy topic. But this is the biggest change that's happened over the last 7 years. It's this. For the longest time, people are always questioning, how can I get more traffic? And they use all these different things like article marketing and buying solo ads and SEO and all these different things. But today, here's the biggest shift. The biggest shift is that all these companies like Google, like Yahoo, like Facebook, like YouTube, all these companies are waiting in line, wanting to give you traffic at one push of a button. At one push of a button, you could go to Facebook, click on Boost Post, and Facebook will send you however much traffic you want to have. So the right question to ask today is no longer how can I drive more traffic, but rather, please write this question down, how can I afford that traffic? Driving traffic is no mystery. Driving traffic is at one push of a button. I want to help change the way you look at traffic, because for the longest time, people always use that as a reason to why they're unable to scale their business, which is, I don't know how to get more traffic. It's not about how to get more traffic. The right question is asked is, how can you afford the traffic? How can you make it so that for every $1 you spend, you get back $3 in return? How can you make it so that for $1,000 you get back $3,000 in return? And you'll be able to make that happen if you have a sales funnel. Okay, so finally, that brings us to step number 5 of the 5-step process, which is number 5, automate. You want to have systems in place, and you can automate only using, please write down these 2 words, systems and people. So I'm going to be showing you the systems that I use to automate. I'm going to show you the teams, the people that I have in place that enables me to do what I do, right? Systems and to automate. So basically, this is the first option for those of you who asked me how you can continue learning with me even after leaving this room. And it would be through internet income intensive. And in fact, the number 1 reason why people fail is really because they try to figure things out on their own, right? They're constantly trying to get free information, going online, going to Google, typing in how to make money online. They get about 2 billion search results, all telling them different things. They get totally confused, they get information overload, and then they quit.